Guys, thanks for coming to Prairie Forge. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this. My name's Glenn Spradling, for you guys that don't already know me. I'm a certified journeyman farrier with the American Farriers Association, and I've been blessed and been able to help with a gazillion certifications and clinics, and became a tester in the last couple of years. I guess I've been shoeing horses full-time since '91. I've been in and around the horse business all of my life. My granddad did a little bit of it, and it just kind of got instilled in me. And I hope to instill it in my son also. This is a great business, I tell you, and we've just been blessed to be around one of the most magical creatures in the world, in my opinion. I got started building hoof knives, I guess, probably 8 years ago, but I've only had a business in it for about 4. Here at Prairie Forge, we try to use all of the information and the knowledge that we've learned from great guys like Jim Poor and Shane Carter, a lot of the guys that have been in the business forever, and then guys like Edward Martin have showed me, and Glenn and David. I've been able to be at their shop and for them to show me hands-on what it's really about to have a tool that's very functional and also beautiful. Hey guys, welcome to the mill room. Just want to kind of exhibit a little bit about how we do these blades. We're using an A2 air hardening steel, and it's in an annealed state at this time. So the reason we use the beast here, and all we do is just feed material to this thing and let it work. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this thing on. We've already fed it material. We got it ready to go. Got us a piece of steel chucked up. Now this thing, it's allowed us to do so much more as far as productivity. Our volume has been able to come up because we've taken the human error all the way out of this thing. You know, you want to call it handmade? Well, it is, because other than one other person that cuts out the handles for me, I'm the only person that touches these knives, so any mistakes made, well, they're mine. What we've got going on here with the water is it keeps the end mill cool, so it doesn't get hot and it doesn't make the material hot due to all the friction that's going on here as you're removing this material. And we all know about material removal, and any kind of grinding that you've done creates a lot of heat and a lot of friction. So this water here keeps our material cool. We have a little more consistency as far as our quality goes that way, and at the same time it saves on the price of a tool. Well, there's the end of this process. What we've done is we've taken an A2 air hardening steel that's annealed, and we've removed a lot of material. We got that thing chucked up so it's a little bit of an angle here, and this is what we begin with. We've had this cut out with a water jet, so once again there's been no heat applied to it this time. It's still in a soft state. And we put this thing on an angle, and there you are. And everyone's exactly the same. And see, by milling these like this, we've left all the strength in the spine. Okay guys, what we're doing now is we're taking some navel brass, and what we're going to do is we're going to forge this piece of 9/16 round navel brass into a very functional piece of the knife. We've got this 9/16. We're going to put it right in here, and we've got kind of a swedge block effect. We've got a die on the bottom of this power hammer. We're going to forge it right into a very functional piece of equipment. This is another unique step that is kind of like an extra when you go buy a new car. Well, this option's already added. It's not anything extra. And what we've done is we've fabricated this brass butt plate out of navel brass on the power hammer. We heat that up in the forge, and we take it over here and we have a die on the power hammer, and we forge this thing into such a shape that it's a little more applicable for us. So what we do is we forge it into something that kind of looks like this. The finished product is pure jewelry. What we do with this butt plate, the whole reason for its existence is I shoe a lot of horses hot, and by going through the contest stage of my life, I learned to appreciate that a whole lot, because it's so much easier on your body. It trains your eye to see symmetry. And what we've done is we've made this brass butt plate, and when you're hot fitting and you bring that hot shoe into place, it just gives you an extra hand, so you don't have quite as many burns on your forearms. Okay guys, what we're going to show you next is the way that we put the tip or the curl on these knives. And we take it out of the fire after we've got it to the correct temperature. We're going to lay it right in here like this, and we're going to bend it like that at a heat, and then we're just going to curl that tip right around, and that's all there is to it. Okay guys, we're going to put these blades in the fire and bring them up to the correct temperature. But you got to be real careful not to let your heat run back into your handle, because then you kind of get them a little brittle if you're not careful, and it's really hard on the drilling process. What we like to do is, we've got one basic curvature that we use, and it's kind of the run-of-the-mill. It fits everything pretty much right in the middle. So what we do is we take that handle after it's been cut out and we put a slot in it. So it's a little more ergonomically correct for your hand. And what we've done is, and this would be for a right-handed person, we've slotted this handle here so that the blade is not really a drop blade, but it lays in there a little bit more appropriately for that, like this. So when you lay it in your hand, it has a natural angle of the foot. Then we take it from the rough stage just like that, and we're going to clean it up just a little bit. This is another example of some Brazilian wood, and you can see this is what the butt plate that we earlier showed you looks like in the rough. Then we've taken kind of the rough edges off, cleaned her up, gave her a little makeover, and there's kind of the next step. So what we do is we take them just a couple of different sessions. You know, we're going to go from 36, we're going to go to 80, then we're going to go to 120, then we're going to go right on to 320 as far as grit goes, and shine these things up for you. Beautiful. What we like to do, the most important part of sharpening a knife with a buffing wheel is that you stay exactly level with the axle. In my opinion, you want to sharpen the front last. You want to hit the back because the back needs to be exactly flat. Once again, the back needs to be exactly flat because you want this thing to cut out of a foot and not into a foot. What we're going to do is, this is our abrasive, and then we have another cotton buffing wheel over here, a loose zone, and we've got what they call green chrome or jeweler's rouge on this side. So this side is a polish, this side is abrasive. Here we go. You see a little bit of spark because it's just a little bit abrasive. We're just going to take off just a teeny tiny bit. You don't want to just stay on that thing and hog on it because this is air hardening steel. You don't want to get hot spots which turn into hard spots. Going to bring it up. We're going to sharpen right down in the curl. That's where you guys really need it for trimming deep down in that commissure on the side of that frog. There we are. Now the same process. We're going to come right over here on the polishing wheel, on the buffing wheel. It's non-abrasive. Level with the axle. On the back. On the front. Sharpen the beak. That's it, right there. And we're going to do the same thing on the polishing wheel. You notice we're not turned this way or that. It's exactly flat. I wouldn't want to pull on that one much. Thank you guys for taking the time to come by Prairie Forge. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this. If you look at the top horseshoers in the world, and I mean in the world, we're talking about Wales, England, we're talking about USA, but of course, if you look in the pockets of their apron, you'll see about that much of a Prairie Forge knife sticking out of the top. That butt plate, that's our brand here at Prairie Forge. So if you pay attention, that's what you'll see, just a little jewelry.